Alrighty everyone, today we're going to talk about the new update for the Fender Toemaster Pro, and whether this has come out in the last couple of days, months or whatnot, I don't know, but I must have slept on it. So I'm currently on version 1.7.53, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through the actual update process in case anyone's followed me or anyone's not seen too much about the Fender Toemaster Pro wants to know how easy it is to do. So what I'm going to do is download it first, so you go into the platform itself, and it's going to tell us to do it there. So I'm just going to download it. Once it's downloaded, I'm going to turn the Toemaster Pro off, and then I'm going to push the firmware update button for 10 seconds. It'll start up in a different mode, and then I'll drop and drag this download file into it, which I'll keep there. Okay, and then we will simply update the platform. So what I'll do, I've got no idea what's in it, so we'll go to the website in a second as well. So I'm just going to go to my Toemaster Pro, which I've got here. Okay, so there's a little button just on the back. Let me find it. Push and hold it. I'm going to turn it back on again. Once it starts up, it's going to say firmware update mode. I might try and catch this with my phone. I've got my button push and hold on the back there. So we're now in USB firmware update mode. So that's the bit that people normally miss. How do we do it? Whatever. So I'll put this on the screen afterwards, and then maybe you can see. So my unit is on my desk there. So this is me recording all my stuff for you guys, and this is on the desk. So let's just put that in there. So what I'm going to do is drop and drag. So on my downloads, you'll see, first of all, let's go to my PC. You see Fender amp there is on screen. You can see that's the unit itself. So I'll go to my downloads of what I've just downloaded. So I'm going to get that. Okay, I'm just going to try and make this on screen usable. So I'm going to drop and drag. You can see that on screen. Try to see what's on screen, but you can see that. And then we're going to drop drag it onto the Fender Toemaster Pro, and then you can see that there. There we go, and it's going to start doing its thing. Okay, so on screen you can see that's doing its bit. Once it's fully transferred across, it's going to start doing its update there, and then we'll speed through and get into what actually is on this unit as in the update. So this will restart and reboot a few times. Once that's happening, I will pull up the website and see what we've got. There you go, so it's applying the updates, it's going to do its stuff. Right, so I'll stop recording this with my phone. So what we're going to essentially get is it's going to be a new version, 1.8 something or whatever it was. So let's terminate that there, and let's go back to the PC. So I'll update the PC version of the software as well. This is the software interface that you get, like your AXFX or your Quad Cortex or whatever. The Fender Toemaster Pro has its one too. So we're updating the machine, and we're also updating the software. Let's do that. It's going to go ahead and do its bits in a second. Yeah, there we go. Install. Let's just get on with it. Yeah, don't care about any of that. Next. Next. Install. That's going to plow through that. My Toemaster Pro is still updating on the desk here. So it doesn't take too long, really, if you think about what you're getting. So if there's going to be all these cabs, IRs, pedals and stuff like that, I've got no idea at all what I'm getting with this. Okay, right. So I'm going to need to reboot my PC. So what I'm going to do is download all this stuff, and then I'm going to restart my PC afterwards for the app itself to be updated. Rightio. Okay, so let's go back to the website now and just look at pulling up a few of these on screen. So we're not going to play any today. Let's just see what they look like and see if they look, first of all, enticing to play, just like in the room. If it looks good, you're probably going to have a bit of a tinker with it. Let's go to that, sorry. So let's put 57 in there. Probably started the wrong way. There you go, 57 champ. So that's what this new thing is. Let's confirm that. So that's one of these little boutique amp things there. Probably not likely to play that much myself, but it certainly looks nice. Just simple controls on there, volume on and off, multiple instrument inputs there. Interesting. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's replace that. What's the next one? It's a 68 custom deluxe reverb. That's that one there. Let's have a look there. So those of you that are familiar with Fender's products probably have a bit more fun with this one than me. I'm sure it'll do what it's supposed to do. Again, you can use the IR stuff on the cab there. I'm sure this will be good for cleans and similar stuff. So that's that one there. So the next one we've got, let's replace that, is a 68 custom Princeton reverb. Let's put 68 again. Custom Princeton reverb, that's that one there. So I'd personally be unsure of what the difference is, but someone will maybe have a stab at that. So we've now got that one. Let's have a look at this 65 custom. Replace 65 custom. That's there. 65. What is it? 65. What's it called? 65 twin custom 15. There we go. So I think that's interesting. It's got a 15-inch speaker. No doubt that's going to have absolutely massive low end on it. So there's some different controls on the back. So there's some vibrato on with this model. Interesting. And then a cab there. You've got a 15-inch and the same IR type stuff. Moving down, we've got the. Let's replace that unit first of all. Let's replace that. And you can see how easy it is to just swap these units out actually. So let's try this with this Rumble. Let's have a look at that. I'm assuming that's going to be like a Dumble copy or something like that. So we've got basically that unit there, which is like the head unit, I suppose, and let's replace that with the other unit, which is the the rumble head and cab there, which you can see that looks like a 4x12 to me. You've got some bright controls there, some vintage, added overdrive, things like that. And on the back, you've got a master volume, which is good. This looks like an interesting one. I'll probably have a play with that. So moving down, we've got the EVH. So I'm not going to go through all of these. I just want to see what the EVH red is. Let's have a look at that. So let's go to EVH, excuse me, EVH red, 50 watt. Let's see if we can find that one. EVH red, see if it's easy to understand what it is. So we've got all these EVH ones here. So I'm looking for red, 5150 6L6 red. That must be that one, I think. So that's that there. So that looks like a sort of amp that I will probably play with. Again, we'll have a fiddle with the IRs there and see what we can do with that. The cabinet units there, sorry. Do that there, and going back to the head, what we've got, just one set of controls in the front. Gain, volume, mids, highs, presence, and resonance. Resonance is an interesting one. In the room, Engel amps used to be an interesting thing. Thump and resonance, things like that. I used to enjoy playing with those. Okay, some new cab IRs. I'm not really going to go into those too much yet. Cabs are one thing. Let's have a look at effects now. So just say we had this one. I'm not going to do anything with it this time. All I'm looking at doing is just seeing what we've actually got. So let's have a look at the effects. So let's put light year, see what that is, see what that looks like. Light year, so this looks like an interesting little friend here. Drive, loudness, frequency, so that looks like some sort of overdrive, which it is. Feel of a cranked tube amp, organic, dynamic, and alive under every note. Lovely description. I'm not one for falling for stuff like that. It is what it is. There's no need to say warm and smooth and all that kind of stuff, but you know, it does help the advertising for sure. Pinions, let's have a look at that. That looks interesting, like the earthquaker devices kind of thing. So again, an overdrive pedal. It looks lovely. 3 different modes there. So you got that's interesting. That's probably worth a play if you're a multi kind of timbre guy or multi-genre. You can see diodes, LEDs, silicon diodes. That looks cool. That's something I will play with. It's got a bit more character. Runes. Let's have a look at see what Runes is. So Runes is that one there, which looks very similar. That wasn't the last one we just tried, was it? By any chance have I just made that same mistake twice? No, we had Pinions and Runes. Okay, so the next one is the Integrator. Excuse my typing. Integrator Boost. Let's have a look at that one. That looks familiar to me. So that looks like I'm going to play with that one with metal. If you're a fan of 14 and Meshuggah and things like that, I might be wrong, but this looks like the old TC Electronic Boost that the 1433 was on. So this little bad boy is going to get my attention. So that Pinions and this Integrator have got my attention already. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one. So next one is Grunt. Let's have a look at this fella. So that looks like, to me, looks like the Aries Effects overdrive kind of thing. Let's have a look at what that does. Just one control. I'm assuming it's just a shitload of gain. Amazing. Looks good. I'll certainly play with that. It's more for the rock and metal fans. That's what we need. There's too many of these classic overdrives that don't really do much different from the last. A Rockbox 100. The branding speaks for itself, I think. It's quite obvious what that is. So we've got a volume, a gain, and distortion, edge, modes there. So which particular mode you want to work it in, what type of effect you got. So chorus, echo, looks like a good multi-use pedal there. So that was the Rockbox. Let's replace that. We've got this step tremolo. Step tremolo is now this one. So that you can see we've got some controls there, mix, the times, taps, division, and here we go. So we've got all the different types of steps, and you'll be able to sequence which one comes in, the amplitude of each. That looks like that's going to be a good one. That has some presets on it too. That'll be quite interesting. Glitching, really interesting. So like the microcosm, things like that. This looks like the sort of thing I'll add to my clean tone arsenal. And spread, stereo spread, randomizing. That looks like an absolute gift. What else we got? That was the step filter or step tremolo. Let's have the prismatic delay. So you can see there's quite a lot of stuff here. This is not a small update. There's a lot of stuff. Prismatic delay, these modern looking ones are the ones that catch my attention. I'm saying I'm not into advertising, but this works for me. So we've got what we've got. This is a delay crossing to another dimension with a Fender design pitch delay. Haunting, otherworldly, and mysterious as its name. So we've got different types, low and highs, feedback, attack, density. We're thinking about hall reverbs and stuff, how massive they are. Forgive me there, I've just closed it there, so I'm not sure what happened there. So prismatic delay, fine. That's that one there. Okay, so what is next? We've got the step filter delay. Replace that with the step filter, because the other step tremolo. Let's have this step filter delay, that one there. That looks very nostalgic. Again, some of those boutique units that normally cost hundreds of pounds, to think if you've bought the unit, you can have all these at once and just play to your heart's content. This one to me looks like another welcome addition there. When you start adding granular reverbs and things on top of this, you can have some really massive things. I'm a fan of Rabea, for example. He'll no doubt be using stuff like this in the room or in his Quad Cortex. But you know, I'm a Fender Toadmaster Pro unit guy. I've got it. I'm happy that I love it. I'm just going to keep using the bits we got. So spectral reverb is next. So let's have a look at that. Spectral reverb, that's that one. Again, a similar looking nostalgic box there. It'd be interesting to see whatever this spectrum feature is and the pitch, some harmonics and things going on there. That looks like a unit I might want to play. The Cirro Stratus, let's have a look at that. C-I-R-R-O, Cirro Stratus reverb. That's that one there. That looks nice and modern. Again, some modulation. So I do love delays and reverb with modulation, decay, damping. A low cut is always good. You don't want it swamping out and standing too muddy. That's great. And the Cirro Stratus synth verb. That one is probably more like I'm going to get. I've used some Walrus audio items and the what's the other one? The Hall of Fame. I can't remember the brand of it now, but really good units. This is probably one I'm going to play with for lead or for some Thal stuff. We've got quite a lot of units here. You can see we're going through. We've got we're near the end of this list. That's a 76 compressor. There we go, rack mounted compressor. So I do a lot of mixing and mastering in the room in this space I've got here. So to me, this will be something I'm being familiar with. You know, buttons in, buttons out, all that kind of stuff. Ratios, thresholds, and all that. It's going to take your tone to a level that you might be familiar with for in the mix or if you're recording rather than just playing in the room. And certainly the familiarity buttons and controls is something I'll be used to, and hope you are too. So the next one is, I think, is the last one on this list. So that was a compressor. So we've got one or two more. So we've got the step filter, which is that one. Another funky unit. There was a similar unit before we came across, but again, glitching, smooths, restart, spreading, all that kind of stuff. I would normally look for a plugin to do this, but having this in this bit of kit would be amazing. And I think finally, we're on the last one, which is a pitch sequencer. Let's sequence, see if we can get that. Excuse my typing. And a pitch sequencer. I think these modulation items and these extra effects are what's really taken this. Apart from that and this new head, let's maximize that and let's just look on this. So some of these big units here like that, I think some of these are really quite impressive looking ones. They've certainly done the interfaces justice, and like this EVH, it looks amazing. If I was to go back to my unit here on the Toadmaster Pro and then zoom in like I've done on the screen there. Yeah, it really does look good. Really looks nice and crisp and clear. And I know the Helix Stadium's out, but I've had this unit and it was the first to do it in this way, and I really love it. And the tones I'm getting are amazing. So what I'll do in the next video, I'll cut that short because we could go on for quite a while recording all these bits. So a lot of effects, a fair few amps and cabs, one or two catching my eye. This one in particular, and the one with the 15-inch speaker, and also these cosmic delays and sequencers and things. I'll be looking to put some background and ambience into the things I'm doing like this. Let's go back. There was just one more, I think, that catch my ear. This spectral reverb, things like that. Let's go back to that one. The spectral reverb, and you're gonna have all this potential, I think, glitching and stuff like that. Whatever this spectrum is, I'm excited to find out what that is. So that is a really massive update. So let's see how it all sounds in general on the next video and see if we can make a demo track and play through. And I'll hopefully go down the clean side to really show off that 15-inch speaker and all of these effects. So, you know, until the next one, stay tuned. It won't be long, maybe tomorrow, maybe a day or two after. But if you've already got the update and you're looking for more stuff and whether it's worth it or not, or if you haven't got a Toadmaster Pro and you wanted to see, is it worth getting? I would say conclusively it is. It has been for a while. If you've watched any of the material I'm into, I don't see a lot of people doing heavy metal stuff with it. I do, and I'm making pretty damn heavy stuff. If you're following me or you're new to my channel, the stuff that I've been doing, look through my channels and my new guitars, any of the demos done in the past, it's only getting heavier and heavier. Okay, you don't need a special unit, it's just how you use the gear you've got in there. All right, so guys, take care, and we'll see you for the next one.